everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse, Tuckerwell, Marks Point. This Friday's fishing report. Straight behind me here, there's been a lot of birds working over on Salts Bay along that shoreline. A couple of anglers over there catching a few at the moment, and they've been busting up for the last 10 or 15 minutes over here. It's the last of the run in tide at the present moment, but strangely enough, last Saturday morning over here, between Sunken Wall and basically Lucy's Breakwater, there was just a heap of salmon busting up. There was probably 8 or 12 guys, a few kayakers out there. I noticed a few fly fishermen even getting out there and getting into them. But it was actually on the run out tide. This weekend looks really, really good if you've got to get over here. Tomorrow morning, high tide, around about 9:30. Low tide, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Full moon tonight as well. This bit of a northerly we've got today, it's a little bit overcast, a little bit of rain around. We'll start to clear off, and tomorrow we've got west nor'westers, maybe 10 or 15, but it doesn't look too bad. And we've got some westerlies coming in on Sunday and into Monday. If you're going to get offshore, beautiful conditions. That swell that was here yesterday has now started to drop off. And with those west-northwest winds, it makes it perfect for the offshore angler. If you're going to get in on those inshore reefs, that high tide tomorrow morning will be absolute beauty. There's been some beautiful snappers still getting caught. There's a few tailor and trevally around as well. I still think inside 30 metres is the go. However, with that wind not being too bad tomorrow, if you can get out a little bit wider and fish the farm, there's some nice snapper out on the farm. But I've got some really nice intel down on the Texas. There was some beautiful kings got caught last weekend, fish up and over 1 metre in length. Jigs were working very, very well, and not a lot of trouble with the barracuda. There was a couple there, but it wasn't too bad. And the boys that I was talking to bag limit catches of kings, and they could actually see them on the sounder down. They were around about sort of 80 metres down, but a lot of kingfish down there. Good opportunity to get out there tomorrow, because I just think that wind might be a little bit off on basically Sunday. Few reports now starting to come from out wide. That water that's up off Port Macquarie has now started to push down the coast a little bit. Last weekend, or just before last weekend actually, there was quite a few yellowfin caught and a few striped marlin out of Port Macquarie. That current basically has started to move down now. So we're now starting to base ourselves on probably a bit more north of Port Stephens, probably that Sea Rocks Canyons area. So with that in mind and a few fin coming down over the next couple of weeks, we should be able to wrap up some nice reports of what's going out here. But I got a bit of intel yesterday. There were a few fish caught to the north and fish around about that 35-40 kilo mark. So it's starting to get itself together. If you're going to fish the beaches, look, salmon and tailor on the beaches. There are a few brim and whiting. And again, these westerly winds will absolutely beautiful, and it will play a part on the rocks. A lot of ludric on the rocks, drummer, a lot of trevally, and there's been some really, really nice brim. And a lot of these brim have flowed in out of the island. There's quite a few brim getting caught in here on Lucy's, but some beautiful ludric getting caught at the moment. Not only at Lucy's, right the way through here, down along the edge where the boat ramp is, up towards the bridge and up towards the Nauru. Some beautiful ludric, and they're really at this stage of the game, they're all gathering up for that spawning program in and around about the next 3 to 4 weeks. So you'll see big numbers of ludric getting caught. Salmon tomorrow, of course, and a few more boats that's coming into shot now, getting over there, starting to get amongst them. If you're going to get into the lake, I had a bit of a run there yesterday afternoon. I really left my run far too late again, got held up at work, but I got a couple of tailor in quick time, and then it went dark. But there's been a few tailor this week over towards Cole Point, back up towards Carry Bay. Still getting those really solid reports down around Pulver Island. A lot of guys ringing me and asking me, about the big drill rig that's actually between Cole Point and Fishing Point. Look, you've just got to give it clearance and not sort of get too involved. And of course, this week also, the fish kill that was at the back of the lake. No one really knows what's going on. EPA obviously doing some reports there, but it's fairly centralised to that outlet down there. So obviously by next week, we might have a little bit of report on that there. Get out there this week, and I reckon tomorrow is really going to be the go. Western or westers, but look at it here today. Even this afternoon, I think on that low tide, you get over here and warm your arms up on a few of these salmon. All things being good, I'll see you next week.